Oh no, my Mac crashed. Sorry guys,
I actually thought it did then. I genuinely I got so
Could you imagine? It just crashes again. That would be terrible.
God, not again.
Nah, it's fine.
My
Jack's
poor-
Not another one.
My
Shuts
poor
up
little
about
heart
it.
can't take it.
I'm not even on my PC. My PC doesn't have a freaking webcam yet, so
Oof.
I'm buying a webcam though, so that me and Noah can start streaming.
Oh yeah.
Drunk souls. Drunk souls.
Hell yeah. Oh hell yeah.
Be a nice ATC exclusive, that
Sup,
wouldn't
guys?
it? Just the drummer and the bassist. Sup, guys? Welcome to our Drunk Souls playthrough.
You can only watch it if you subscribe. You can only watch it if you subscribe to our Patreon.
Exactly.
This stream is sponsored by NordVPN.
Oh.
We're not
not
actually
actually, we're not
sponsored by
actually. We should
NordVPN.
probably
Before
say that.
anyone actually thinks that we are, we have no discount code. I wish, because NordVPN is sick. Sponsor me,
Blasphemy.
please.
Sponsor us Bud Light. Come on. You sponsor Post Malone.
But
What's wrong
I've
with
got
this?
a sponsor from Bud Light. My life would be made.
Oh dear.
So, our little cheeky question of today, however, is what we're all doing on the 21st of June.
I'm just going to Satan's.
Nice. Just
There is no
absolutely
debate.
what's happening.
No, hands
None of this nonsense of there'll be too many people there. Sorry. What was that? Are you a pussy? No. Get there. I'm not having any of this. Oh yes, I've got work tomorrow.
Jack, I'm
Crap.
up at 4 a.m. I don't care.
I don't care. You've
You
had
have to
a
leave
year.
stands.
You've had a whole
Nah,
year
we're
to
gonna-
sleep.
You have.
This
You
isn't the
get a
time.
tent,
you
We're
have
gonna
to
camp
leave
out
stands
there
and go straight
overnight.
to work.
So the first people in.
I am actually so tempted to not camp out overnight, but if there's like a pre-booked ticket system,
Yeah.
I'll buy 5 tickets.
I have a feeling on the 21st of June I'll just still be at home because lockdown's going to get moved again.
Oh,
It's
don't.
just gonna be like,
Way to ruin the
I
mood.
think there would actually be riots.
I think they would, to
think
be
they
honest.
would.
I think
yeah.
people would just. I think you've already told people now that the end's there, so the people are just gonna be like, "Oh, screw
you
it."
can't
Either
sort
that or
of
Boris
cock
just
tease
trolls
like
us
that.
and moves it to the 22nd.
Apart from the obvious of going out though, the other thing I would quite like to I know it sounds really dumb, but I just want to sit in somewhere any sort of
It's not your
in a
house.
pub.
a pub. I don't know.
Lockdown
just any
ends. What do you
sort
want to
of-
do? I want to sit somewhere
Oh,
else
pub.
for a change.
I want to go to someone's house that's not my own.
Actually,
Yeah.
to be fair, that's a good one. That is a good one.
I just want to so someone can be like, Jack, do you want to come over? And I won't feel guilty about being like, yeah, sure.
Free drinks.
But
Yeah, pre-drinks.
Pre-
oh
yeah.
mate,
Dude,
I've already created the perfect pre-drinks playlist. I've been thinking about it for so long now.
You mean
that
about
I'm
a
gonna
year?
just put it on, and people will be like, "Can I request a song?" And I'd be like, "Bro,
No.
there's no need. If you want
all on
it, it's
here.
already
It's all
there.
on here.
It's already there.
It's not on the list. You don't need it. Simple as.
Is
To
it
be-
an anime opening? Well, then you don't need it.
To be fair, Jack, you can always trust Jack's playlist because when we went to download, Jack's there like, right, I've got a sorted boys download playlist.
It's alright. It's already there.
Complete.
Don't even talk to
completed
me
it,
about
mate.
download.
The thing, no, not even completed because I'm sure we listened to Jack's playlist obviously on the way and back.
Yeah, and
from
on the way
download.
back, we were like, "Well, what now?"
No, it was more to do with the fact that I don't think we even finished the playlist. I think there was still more to go.
Probably like.
I think the fact on the way back we were all just so dead. I mean, we kind of woke up, but I think you were kind of ill on the way home, Kieran. which
No,
was
I ne-
actually
yeah,
kind
I
of
nearly-
funny.
I nearly
You
got
were
us all
driving us
killed.
home on the motorway, falling asleep, and we were like, "Are you alright, man?"
Yeah, because I turned to because Jack you were in the front seat with me, weren't you? And I
Yeah.
just looked over to you, I was like, dude, keep me awake. 'Cause I was just, but you and
That was such an awful journey. I
you were
remember getting
shattered
halfway
yourself.
home.
You were
I
shattered
remember-
yourself though, so you looked at me and was like, oh, okay, bro.
It's not really what you want to hear going at 70 miles an hour past some services.
Oh, that's alarming.
Nothing was quite as tight.
remember
as
The weirdest
how we
part
fit
was
in that
I remember
car.
getting out because we went to go get a coffee or something.
Yeah.
And then I remember the worst part of that journey for me was obviously we'd been at this. That was the 6th day that we'd been away from home, and I remember wiping my face with a baby wipe when we got to the service station. I remember visibly seeing the dirt on the wipe. and I was like, how am I so gross that the dirt is visible? Like, this shouldn't be happening.
Yeah, and then whose
it was
idea
just
was it?
gross.
Whose idea was it to, like we got back home and someone was like, "Oh, should we go pub?"
Oh
That was
yeah,
probably
yeah.
mine.
We actually
I
did.
guarantee that was probably
We
mine.
actually went pub straight after. That was
I didn't
fucking
even
wild.
Yeah, we
I
did.
didn't
And then
even
you
get
had
through a
one pint and you
Yeah,
were
I
like, "Oh, I'm gonna go home."
I was fucked.
I ended up getting really smashed with Ed. So then I ended up like shout out to Ed. But I remember like just getting really smashed on 2 pound gin and tonics, and then just waking up the next day being like, I've drunk for I've got quite drunk for 6 days in a row.
And then
I
the
am
next-
dying.
And
then we had Metallica the
and then
day
after
after
Metallica,
that.
we went to Satan's.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, it was mint.
Oh, I met up with you.
it was
remember.
it was a super
just never
fun
stopped.
week.
I
had a lot
insane.
of fun.
It was so good.
My liver didn't take that well, I must admit. I felt there was definitely a few days afterwards where I did just sleep.
There's definitely some permanent damage there now, isn't there?
Some permanent damage
Just till next
from that
year.
1 week. I
Till
don't
next-
think it was that rough. There's only been a couple of times where I thought, Jesus, I can't do that every day. There's
No.
only been a couple of times where I've like got so drunk that I thought, ooh, probably shouldn't do that. That's quite rough.
I mean, I'm
But,
looking. I'm looking forward to going again because definitely it should be ready to go in 2021, and it'll be
It
great.
is
We'll see.
2021.
I'm looking forward to the mac and
We'll
cheese
see.
stall. I'm also looking
Oh,
forward
the
to the
mac
headline.
and
Jeez, to be fair,
Oh.
it was
Right,
so
I'm also-
nice.
Oh.
I'm also looking forward to like the toilets next to us because last time was so funny because I went for a piss one morning. And some dude just went to go to a port loo
Oh,
because
God, I
obviously he
remember
needed a
this.
shit.
I remember this.
Right. So I'm just having a piss, and this guy opens the port loo because it's empty, obviously, and he goes, "Oh fuck!" Like because it stinks, right? right. But then he just goes like, "Oh fuck it," kind of thing, and he goes in, and like so we're all the gents stood at like the the urinals. That's it. Yeah, I couldn't remember the name then. We were just stood there all like kind of looking at each other smirking because we were like, this is going to be funny. And then the next thing you hear is just like probably about 5 seconds of silence and we're just
Oh, Christ.
Oh, that's quality. The best one I heard was when some guy kept going around all the toilets being like, "Jeff," like pretending to know everyone, just being like, "Oh yeah, man, how's it going?" And then people were just stood there like really fucking confused, like, "What?" And he would just be like, "Oh yeah, oh how's it going, man? Oh yeah, sound. See you later." And then you just walk off.
bye. Oh yeah, cheers,
So
bye.
bizarre.
Such
Alright,
a
so
weird
Jack-
place.
So Jack's going
Nice.
stands. I'm
Yep.
skeptical because I reckon lockdown's going to get pushed again. So
Yeah, but-
I'll probably be in a
Yeah.
riot somewhere with someone. I don't know.
Fair enough.
Anyone else?
Oh, I'm right with
Josh,
Jack.
what are you doing?
I'm right with Jack and Satan's.
Oh,
Dry stand.
Yes. Squad, let's go.
Bears. I mean, I'll see
It's
you.
alright, Megan.
I'll see you in Satan's because what I'm gonna do on the 21st is actually go out on the 20th, be a naughty boy, set up a camping spot right at the front of Satan's. I'm gonna sleep there all day. I'm probably gonna go get a Mackey's at some point in the morning just to keep me going, and then I'll go back in the tent, probably sleep for a bit, wait until about 9, 10, whenever it opens. And then, I'll be right at the front. I'll pack the tent down. I'll put it in the cloakroom, and I'm probably just going to be buzzing off my tits.
I'll probably go dressed up. I'll probably go in a fucking
to be
tuxedo.
fair,
Yeah, to be fair, should we all go
if
stand
I
up,
stand,
like,
if I
suited
stand a
and
higher
booted?
chance, if I stand a higher chance of getting in, if I go dressed up, I'll go dressed up as whatever you want me. You know what? In the comments, tell me what I should go dressed up as.
Tell us all. Tell
on
us
the
all
first
what we
night
should
back.
get dressed up as.
Tell us, yes. Do a themed.
We could all go together if you want, or we could all say like I don't know, one person goes this, you say this person goes as that, or whatever. We can work around.
I think that's a great idea.
We'll
So you just
vote.
got 2 questions in the space of 1 podcast episode. That's how much we love
The
you.
one with the most likes. The one with the most likes is what we will definitely do. We have to.
Oh,
It's
man.
not allowed
I
to be
re-
naked. It's not allowed to be naked. That one might get us banned.
But it can be revealing. That's acceptable.
Oh, hello.
Skin
Cheeky.
can be shown, just
Skin
not
can
all
be
of it.
shown.
I do have some responsibilities.
Alright, indeed.
But I think we're all in unison. It's pretty much what we're doing on 21st of June. Stands, really.
Yeah,
we're
so-
going stands.
clubbing basically.
I mean, yeah, there's literally
Getting
nothing else I
fucked.
want to do. Yeah. Ordering like, I'm just so excited to order a Guinness, like a draft Guinness.
Oh
Do you know
no,
what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, hear me out. Seeing the Guinness being poured, I might start crying. I might actually start crying.
I think I'm actually welling up now. So don't. Like, I have to deal with another lockdown birthday, and I really don't want to, but I have to.
Oh, no.
So let's just move on before I
well,
start crying.
Speaking of moving on, let's do what we actually came here for, which is talking about albums.
Before we talk about the album, can we remember like how
no.
friendly this conversation was?
Yes.
How friendly this
Yes,
conversation
okay.
was.
Oh, right, okay.
So this
right,
might get a bit...
Beef.
Okay, alright.
I'm a vegetarian and I can't even avoid it.
Bloody Nora. Right, okay. So today's album is my album. Obviously, the best album. Better than Josh's.
It's not your album. Yeah, I wrote it. Mine.
It's all mine. I wrote everything.
It's all mine.
Okay, so I sort of looked back and I thought, okay, this album brings me back to a very specific time in my life. One where I was probably about 15 and being turned away by all the goth girls. The classic.
I was going to say, was it when you were a teenager?
In fact, no, that was just 21 in Satan's. But, yeah, so this album is from first to last Dead Trees, and I adore this album so much. It's so, like, I don't know how to describe it. It's that kind of shittiness that I just really love. I can't stop listening to it. I adore this album. Genuinely.
It's 45 minutes of shit
It's
posting.
Exactly. I just love it. They wrote this album, like, ironically. They pretty much just wrote this and they just went, how emo can we get? And they just did this. And they still did that and it still sounds fairly okay. Like, I still really like it. It's so catchy and, like, the riff in Hate Me, or Hate Me, H8.
Hate me.
Hate Me. I mean, purely from how it's spelled, you should know what you're in for. Yeah, I really like this album, and I cannot wait for Josh to tear me a new one. So
Okay, well, on that note, Josh, do you want to go ahead? Because I feel like me and Kieran are just watching at this point.
I did not like this album. I did not like this album.
Fuck off.
I kind of figured...
Fuck off.
Okay, so I kind of figured that, like, obviously, it reminds me of the similar time for me when I was about 15. I was listening to bands like Bullet for My Valentine and I Prevail's cover of Blank Space. And
yes. Oh, yes. No. Now you're speaking about
The best song of all time.
I think to
Better than the
myself,
original.
if I was back then and I'd heard this album, would I still like it? And the answer is no.
Oh, damn.
So I'll start with what I like. I'll start with what I like about the album. I like some of the riffs. There are some good riffs on this album. Obviously,
Some.
Some
being the key word there.
a handful.
A handful.
Yeah, no, I picked out like Straight to the Face, the opener. 211. I like that opening riff.
Yeah.
There's a few bits here and there. Obviously, Spencer from Periphery, you can't go wrong with him. Is fantastic.
I think that's another reason that I really like this album, is the fact that Spencer weirdly suits this genre quite perfectly.
Yeah. Am I wrong in thinking that this was the band that Skrillex was in?
Yes. Skrillex was the original lead singer. In fact, the song Note to Self and the one that comes after it were
the bonus tracks are remakes of their old stuff. And that
yeah.
And they're the best thing.
Isn't there's a song like, isn't it called My War that he sings on? Not on this album. There's a different song.
I think so. Yeah. I know the song you're on about.
I think like that's the big one that he was on.
Yeah.
I can't remember now.
And the sad thing is those tracks at the end that are remakes of their old stuff are the best things on this album.
Oh.
I said it.
Someone put down the gun because shots have been fired.
Damn.
Alright, come on, Josh. Break it to me.
There's not much else to say really. Like I just the whole time I listened through,
Jesus.
I just thought there's nothing, there's not really anything new I'm hearing compared to like other bands that do very similar things. There's the other thing, like obviously I love Spencer from Periphery, but there's some of the screams and I hear this on like a lot of the older Periphery stuff. I don't know how to describe
Yeah.
it, but it reminds me of that, and I'm not a huge fan of those kind of screams. I don't really know how to describe it, but do you know what I mean?
I know.
They don't sound as
Yeah,
controlled or
that's-
as
Yeah. It definitely sounds a lot
I
more.
guess.
It still sounds like tonally he's incredibly controlled, but I do kind of get you by like.
the aggression is
Yeah,
more
yeah.
there than
Yeah.
I think that's
Well,
I think.
if we want the shots to continue,
Oh,
I can
God.
give mine.
Oh God! I'll come in as backup for Noah later
Go
on,
on.
but I'll let him get beat up some more.
Okay, so
he's just enjoying watching. Tag me in.
Some people just want to watch the world. Some people just want to watch the world burn.
yeah, it was. All right, so I'll go through the positives first.
It's
There were
always-
some,
And
you
now,
know.
and now the
always-
you know.
and now the positives are over. Let's go into the
positives are
negatives.
over. No, okay, so obviously, same as Josh, Periphery's lead singer. You know, can't go wrong. Really, you know, that made it a little bit better for me.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But
What a fitty.
you know, it was like a match made in heaven to me a little bit with the whole. I guess you could say. I mean, he just does like I want to say pop punk style vocals nicely as well, because obviously that's what it kind of felt like when it was clean. And then obviously when he was screaming, it's practically him being him, you know.
Yeah.
The album itself, I thought, yeah, it hits like a truck. Like it is very
It's
just
so
fast paced. There you go.
Energy 100% for this
And
album.
I'd give it credit.
It's so energy.
and
it's-
That's what I'm gonna-
it's so energy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write that
It's
down.
so energy.
It's so.
It's surprisingly not
energy.
overwhelming as well, in the sense of when albums are like that, usually you can be very overwhelmed, and at no point did I feel like, you know, like overwhelmed by it. And then there's some nice tracks like Black and White and Never in Reverie. I love
Yes.
those two tracks. I
Yeah.
thought they were great. However, I would have liked, because I like my albums with a bit of downtime, and they just, for me, there was just no
yeah,
downtime
that was
at
one of
all.
the problems.
I mean,
Now, obviously, there's the track. There's the track. What is it near the end where he's joking with the Miley Cyrus meme?
yeah.
we don't want to
vocal.
live in the real
That's
world.
it.
Yeah. So we don't want to. We don't want to live in
Miley
the.
Cyrus.
Oh boy, here we go. So obviously that track is more dynamically low, and you know it's not as hard hitting as the others. But however, at the same time, I didn't feel like that track fit at all in the album. I was a little bit
It's
aware.
kind of like there's
fuck has
another
this
track
come
in the
from?
middle.
Yeah, I was like-
Back to Hannah Lee. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The song's
which-
very slow.
It goes down that more quiet route, but you still got these like really dense layers and layers of vocals in it. Like I love his voice,
Yeah.
but just that much like production on and layers on it, I
Yeah.
wasn't a fan of. Just the one time that
Yeah.
And then
I really
just
switched
to,
it up, which I
just-
think it really needed by that time in the album, but
Yeah.
didn't quite deliver.
Well,
in the
just
way
to
I
finish
wanted
up
it to.
before I let Jack like go with his. Also, I didn't like the fact that, I mean, all right, maybe an unpopular opinion,
Uh-oh.
but I didn't
Uh-oh.
like that I had to wait to the end for a catchy chorus.
Whoa! Hang on. Oh no. Okay. Everything that Josh said, I can make sense of. That I vehemently disagree with. That's pissed me off more than Josh has. You're going to fucking. You're getting a smack, mister.
Oh, I knew.
I can't.
No one's gonna come into
can
this
kinda
room and just
disagrry
hit
with
me.
that, at least.
I can't believe you just said that. Have you even listened? Have you even listened to this album?
Yeah.
Have you listened
I
to
don't
Hate
remember-
Me? Have you listened to Hate Me? You fucking love me! You want to hate me, but you
I
can't!
remember the. I remember the riffs, not the chorus. So that's it. I've spoken my piece, and now Jack might
Alright,
be
so
able
Kieran's
to.
completely invalidated his opinion on this.
So we're not adding a score to the total. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah. Wait, no, hang on. His score immediately goes to a 10, that's how it works.
Doesn't know what he's talking about out of 10.
No.
So, what did I think of this album? I thought it was pretty funny, to be honest.
That's what
I had a
that's
good
what I
time.
love about it. It's
I
fucking
had a
hilarious.
fun time. Like, I rate my albums on how like much I enjoyed it, and if you're going off that, I kind of enjoyed like a lot of it. Like, I know I'm a piece of emo trash, so
Oh mate, preach it to the
I feel
choir.
like it
Preach to
resonated
the
with me a
choir.
lot. But yeah, no, I found it funny in parts. Like, there's some good riffs. There's some. I don't get what you mean about uncatchy choruses.
I completely like.
Dead trees, man.
At least Josh's criticism was alright. It was valid.
I'm sorry, but like that's another thing. If it's like backing vocals, what have to be your catchy vibe? Do you know what I mean?
I do get what you're saying.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. But I did have a good time with that chorus.
Granted, we
all
might be
mine.
guilty of that with Sun and Stars, but
I'm definitely guilty of that. Oh damn.
Oh boy.
It's trash. There's not a nice chorus. What else did I think about this album? The only criticism would be if you don't look at it from kind of like the satire, ironic kind of perspective. If you look at it unironically, it is just metalcore, and it is just kind of boring metalcore.
It's like
in places.
Yeah, it's similar to how I like look at Death Grips and things like that. It is just a meme, but it's a really good meme.
But Death Grips are a meme though that are also really experimental
also really
and have also released one of the best albums of the past 20 years.
Ooh.
So like,
Is that gonna be on another episode possibly?
The Money Star will 100% be on another episode.
Nice.
But like, I don't think it's the same kind of like. Whereas Death Grips can be funny, it's also like if you look at it just sonically, it's also incredible.
Really,
Whereas like Dead Trees is funny, but if you look at it from a
if you look at it too much,
sonic perspective, it's objectively bad in places. But like,
oh dear.
I had a fun time. Dead Trees is a fucking banger. Don't want to live in the real world. Honestly, made me piss myself.
It's so
I
funny.
like, there's that one lyric, not just the blah 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 Miley Cyrus. There's also the I never thought my shampoo could kill me, and that was enough for me. I heard that lyric and I was like, wow,
that song was alright.
that's it.
And,
I'm sold.
It was funny in that. The one thing that bugged me about that, there's one in the chorus. There's one chord that they're playing on the acoustic guitar, and it just doesn't fit at all. I didn't know whether to laugh or
It's just
to
wrong.
hate it.
Music, bro. It's just jazz. It's just jazz.
It's just jazz. It's just prog, Josh. You're clearly just not prog enough to You don't have a high enough IQ to understand from first to last.
Hey, I listened to Tool, right?
boy.
I listen to Tool and I like Rick and Morty, so
Oh damn!
I'll have you know.
Didn't realise we were dealing
But
with
like,
an intellectual.
I wish that bands like this. It's kind of just a criticism I have of a lot of music in general. Like, I say this all the time with pop music, but I wish more music didn't take itself too seriously. I don't know if that's just because that's the way I kind of treat life.
Yeah.
But I wish that I wish there was more songs like I Don't Want to Live in the Real World on this album, because then I could be like, this album's satire, it's funny, you'll piss yourself. But there's some times where I'm like, this is just a bad metalcore song that makes me cringe myself inside and out of my body. Like, so it's an album of two halves. I was like, on one hand, I do find this really funny, and if I was like, if I was seeing these live, I would have an incredibly
I
fun
think it'd be
time.
mint seeing these live. I actually think it'd be
I
incredible.
absolutely would be. And like, it's definitely the music I used to listen to when I was younger. And honestly, I used to listen to some trash when I was younger. So
mate,
like,
I know.
anyone here used to listen to Boys Like Girls? Anyone?
yes. Oh yeah.
That's what I thought.
My anthem on Tinder.
But
Please
like-
swipe right on me. Please. I'm so lonely. I need help.
But like, I don't know. It's whether I would like act if I was like in a serious listening mindset where I'm like, oh yeah, album of the decade discussion. There's no way that I would even put a finger on this.
No, I
like,
agree. By no means is it ever
Yeah.
going to be like album of the year or anything like that. But my god, it's so fun. This album is.
Would
so
I say
fun.
it's a good album? Would I say is a good album? No. Would I say it's a fun album?
Yes.
Yes. is the way I'll sum it up. But not like The Room, where it's so trash that it's
Shall
bad.
we,
It's
shall
not
we give it a
trash.
score
It's not
then?
trash.
Like,
Should we? Okay.
Should we add
Yeah,
a-
go on then.
Shall I score first?
Go on then.
Sure, as
Yeah,
the-
it's probably going to be the
Yeah, go
highest.
on.
so.
So I've given this a 12 out of 10, obviously. Because I genuinely think... I think this could resurrect...
I mean, besides the fact that you're not allowed to give it a 12, so you have to change it under
But
the
it
law.
could-
the law.
But this has that ethereal, powers that I reckon it could bring old school emo back from the grave.
I see what you mean, but how
don't-
can it bring it
I'm
back
not
from the
giving it a
grave where
12.
this album's like 6 years
I know, yeah,
old?
it's been going for
It's
too
clearly
long.
not brought back from the grave.
Okay, no, in all seriousness, I've given this album, an 8 out of 10. Again, it's not particularly by any means like an album that I'd ever put as my favourite album ever at all, but my god, it's so fun. It's so great to just sing along to and just get lost in, like, exactly, that alone. It's
Not a
like,
chorus.
I don't know, I could happily just switch my brain off and just listen to this.
Yeah, I get that vibe.
So,
I get that vibe.
I'm pretty comfortable with it. 8 out of 10.
Josh, since the
yeah,
beef
so-
was between
So
you and Noah, what
get
have you
that
scored?
It's trying to do that, but it's
Oh,
just not what I got off the album. Can
Can I predict? Can I predict
Can
what
I
you scored?
predict what you
Go on
scored?
then, go
Josh,
on then.
Jack, you go first. Sorry.
I think you've given it a 4.
I think you've given it a 2.
Jack is right. I've given it 4 out of 10.
Yes, I knew it. I fucking knew it.
Oh.
So Josh gives that a 4 out of 10.
Brilliant.
That's got to be our lowest
That's-
score
that's
so far,
definitely-
surely.
yeah.
Kieran, have you given it lower than a 4?
I've given it a 5.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's all right.
I've given it a 5 in the end, like average. And if it wasn't for Periphery's lead, actually, I gave it a 5 as well because I realised the album did come out in 2015.
Yeah.
So it gets some kind
It
of
gets
recognition.
it gets like a pity vote. It gets a pity point.
If you came out in the 2010s,
Pity
if you
point.
weren't trash, then you're all right.
Yeah, just.
Are we allowing 0.5s?
No.
You said
Or
we
was
No,
that my
no,
rule?
no,
I said
no.
no. Oh, I did say that
0.5
we weren't allowing
banned.
0.5. Oh, okay, well on that basis, I gave it a 6.
Oh.
So I was gonna give it a 6.5, but I can't
Give it a
justify
7.
giving it a 7 because 7 goes to albums that I'm like they're on the cusp of being like great, but I wouldn't say that this album's on the cusp of being like great. But like if you balance, I'm giving it the second highest score in the group. What do you want from me?
Beggars can't be choosers, I guess.
What do you? I'm being nice.
Give it a 7. Go on.
Give it a 7.
Amend your score.
So that gives it. Let me just do maths. 23 out of 40. That is rough.
That's shocking.
That puts it dead
it's
last.
technically
Oh, no,
above
so
average
far.
or above half, so there's that.
I mean, yeah, it's above 50%.
alright.
I mean, I can definitely name a lot of albums that would get worse than that.
100%. 100%.
We haven't reviewed Sin Anger yet.
Oh,
so
good God.
when we get round to
We're
that,
gonna have to do
Let's
like an
go.
hour long special of reviewing Saint Anger.
a Christmas special, Sin Anger. That has to be an April Fool's special, surely.
Oh,
surely.
interesting. Put it in
Well,
the pipeline.
that-
Put it
well-
in the pipeline.
Well, there we have it. This episode's been a
Yeah.
shitpost, just like from first to last.
So anyway,
if anything,
Go listen to the song Dead Trees.
you want-
It
if
bangs.
you
listen to
It bangs.
hate me, Dead Trees, Black and White, and Note
If
to
you
Self.
live in the, I don't want to live in the real world. Never thought my shampoo could kill
well,
me.
if you want more shit posts,
Right.
be sure to subscribe, click notification bell. Check us out on Facebook,
Like, comment,
Instagram.
subscribe, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram.
Samsung
Where else
Smart
are we?
Fridge
Are we on
will be on there soon.
New Tesla? Are we on Tinder yet? Do we have a band Tinder?
I'm on Tinder. Can we class that as having the
Noah's on
We can
Tinder.
class that as the
Subscribe
band
to
being-
Noah's Tinder.
Subscribe. I'll
Subscribe. Say
I'll
hi.
leave the Spotify in the description. The bio.
Oh, we need to get a band Tinder. And on that note, in a bit, see you later.